Hello, I'm Mary.
Hi, good morning. I'm Linda. Welcome to Pinky Malls.
It's a beautiful day today.
It is
absolutely
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
It was in the 40s when I left the house this morning. It's so nice and cool.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of new followers, and we want to give you just a little bit of our background. We're going to keep this part of the video short, and then we'll be on live again at 11 to do our cooking. So we entitled this Pinky Malls because our grandmother,
Right.
we lived beside them all of our life. Our maiden name is Pinkston, and we're the oldest grandchildren on both sides of the family. And our oldest brother, Charles,
He's the one that named him.
yes, he's the one
that
that started calling them Pinky Mom, Pinky Paw.
He couldn't say Pinkston. So he just had Pinky Mall, Pinky Paw. So
And everybody, there's so many Pinky Malls and Pinky Paws, the grandkids call their grandparents that.
Right.
That's in our family. So that's how the Pinky Mall. Now, Molly and Paulie is our mama's parents, and they live down on the farm, and we would go down there, and one of the best cooks I've ever known in my life was Molly.
yes, got some, and her daughters were all good cooks.
All.
Aunt Elsie, Aunt Faye,
Mama.
Aunt Laverne, all of them, Mama, all
Aunt
of them was
Sylvie.
fantastic cooks.
And Mary was named after both of her grandmothers. Mary is our Pinky Mall's name, and then her middle name was Mall's
Lorraine was
middle
after
name.
my grandmother, other grandmother.
So we have a lot of good memories from our childhood.
Yes,
So
we do.
We want to tell about that, and just to kind of give you a perspective of where we're from. We are sisters, number one. For those of
Yeah.
you who don't know, we've had a lot of people ask. We're from Nacogdoches, Texas. Nacogdoches is the county seat. It's a pretty big county in East Texas.
That's where the shuttle. Remember?
The shuttle Columbia exploded there in 2003, and a lot of you might can put this together, right?
Visualize
it
where we're actually
from that. So we want to just kind of give you that little tidbit there. We are going to be doing a drawing. We'll get the names together of everyone that's watching, and we will announce that on our 11 o'clock show.
And Carla, my daughter,
Yes.
she will be taking answering your questions if you have questions. We've got so many followers now that we cannot answer all the comments, but we want you to know that we read every one of them, and it just makes our heart happy. It's just we love it, but we just may not be able to answer all of them. But if you have a question this morning during live, either one of the lives, you can just ask it. And my daughter Carla Sanuka, I can't say her last name.
Carla Lumen, she has her maiden name on it, Carla Lumen Zaniga.
Yeah.
And she's helping us out this morning, Mary's oldest daughter.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. And we are, like Mary said, we're so humbled to be able. We do this for fun. We love
Yes,
each other.
it's for
We
fun.
love to cook, and we do this for fun, and we appreciate everyone. So
Right.
we're going to tell just a little bit, get Mama's story started, and Mary.
I'll tell you why we wanted to do this, our mother's story. It's been on my heart for over a year now to tell this story. And and as some of you heard me say previously, I don't grieve whenever I lose a loved one right off. It's taken me a long time to be able to talk about this, and I've been wanting to for over a year now to tell our story of our daddy and mother. Daddy, he served in World War II, and back then they called what he had was shell shock. But now it's that PTSD is what they call it now. But he suffered from that. So a lot of people out there, y'all, would be has had a parent. Some of you have had parents. You lost your parents, but we didn't lose ours just in a normal death. So we wanted to give y'all our story of how we lost our dad. So that's going to be the end of our story, the end of November. He died November the 1st. But we're going to build up and give you a little picture of what what men and women now goes through when they serve in the military. So we can give you a part of what we suffered because of our dad's PSTD. So
and Mother's Strength, we want to tell how strong and how
Yes.
she got us through, I guess, the most
She-
difficult time in our
right,
life.
and she was a good mother. She made us a happy home, even though we did have some ups and downs. We still had a happy childhood,
We did.
very happy childhood.
So we're going to start out with telling about Mama's birth. And she was a twin. Her brother was Uncle Herschel. He passed away back in the
50.
early 80s.
Yeah,
he was 50. I believe he was
50.
55. Sarah, our cousin.
He was in his early
she may
50s.
can
I was
correct
thinking
us,
it was
but-
53 is
but
what I
she
was thinking,
he
but
was
I
in
don't know
his
for sure.
50s. Mama nature was a caregiver, and she was born on July the 19th in 1925. A doctor did deliver her, which was kind of unusual back in those times, but what they used to do then when someone had a baby, I guess somewhat like they do now or did before COVID, everybody would come from miles around to see the kids, and especially because these were twins. And even from an early child, Mama took on responsibilities of an adult. Molly was having lots of babies. She had 13 babies total.
She had two or three sets of twins and a set of
A
triplets.
set of triplets. And she lost 6 of those babies.
Yeah.
But Mama, because of that, and Mama was sick a lot, Mama just done all kinds of stuff. I mean, she literally was doing an adult's job when she was a child. So we'll skip forward a little bit. And she was also born in Nacogdoches County, Jamesville, which anybody that's familiar with Nacogdoches knows that's a little tiny community between Melrose and Sharina.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when she was, I guess she was about 14, this would have been during the beginning of the war, maybe. She worked at Camp Chemical at the shipyard in Freeport. I think it was Freeport, right?
Yeah, it was Freeport. Yeah, it was in Freeport.
Her
Dow
and
Chemical.
Paul and Aunt Elsie, and I don't know.
Aunt Selby. Aunt Selby went down there
and
too.
I guess
Yeah.
Aunt Laverne too. They
Yeah.
all went down there to work.
Aunt Laverne didn't.
Oh, Aunt Laverne didn't go. Okay. She made sandwiches. Now, 14-year-old girl. I was still playing with dolls when I was 16. 14-year-old girl. She was making literally thousands of sandwiches and had a money thing that she carried from all these buildings and selling these sandwiches. And all the money that they made is how they bought their farm in Sharina. They pooled their money
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
and they bought this farm with, I guess it had
I'm sure.
some old buildings and a
Yeah.
couple of houses on it.
Yeah, I think Aunt Laverne was too young is the reason she wasn't.
Okay.
No, she helped at home. Yeah.
And then, so we're going to skip forward to.
Yeah, Mother wrote a book. She wrote a book, and we're just kind of going through it a little bit. At times, we will read what her own words, but we're going to make it short. We can't tell everything, so we just look at our paper once in a while to see what my mother wrote.
And some of it, we want to tell you her exact words. This book
Yeah.
has never been published.
Right.
We wanted to, but we've just never done it. And we don't want to leave this world and not give some of the insights of what she wrote. So, a happy day. She was 15. She met Marie Pinkston at school. And Marie was our daddy's sister. And they became best friends. And they lived down off of 95. And if anyone knows anything about Sharina and in Nacogdoches County, I guess it's southeastern Nacogdoches County, they lived not far from each other. When I say not far, it wasn't across the street or a block. It was a good walk, but they lived in close proximity. So Aunt Marie wanted Mama to come home with her after school. So Mama come home with her, and she walked up, and Daddy was sitting on the porch.
And he was in the military at that time. Wasn't he on leave?
He was in the camp.
He was in boot camp.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
boot
right.
camp.
He had come home on leave. Yeah.
So he was already enlisted, I'm trying not to skip around too much, but I do want to say this: my daddy was a remarkable person.
Yeah.
When this started, he went down and volunteered, and he was on the first bus load that left Nacogdoches County.
Anyway, it's going to be kind of tough for Linda. And she was a daddy's girl, Linda was. But anyway, our dad was a very caring person, very caring and very neat. He wanted everything starched and ironed, and which Mama did. But anyway, Aunt Marie is the one that
that introduced them. And they were
Yeah.
best friends,
Yeah.
even up until
Yes.
the time that Mama died. They were
Yeah.
very good
Right.
friends. And she was a character. We loved her to death.
Aunt Marie.
And she, so Mama walks up, and there's this very tall, handsome man, and
He was shining shoes, wasn't he?
was shining his
shoes.
shoes. And so I was seeing here if there was something I want to read. She said Cecil, that was her dad's name, was tall and straight-shouldered. Now this is old talk. This is how
Mama's
Mama
word.
was describing him. And the other thing that I remember, I'm reading straight from this, he was polishing all of his shoes. Like Mary said, he was very
Yeah.
articulate.
Yeah.
And Mama, didn't have a whole lot. And I'm sure that she was probably embarrassed, but he asked her, he said, take off your shoes and I'll shine your shoes. So she let him. She let him shine shine her shoes. And that started their, I wouldn't say courtship, but that's how they started. And the way she titled this was The Day I Met My Husband to Be. And
then they went on one of their dates. After they started dating, they went to, was that their first date that they went to the pounding? Everybody may not know what a pounding is. And of course, I didn't either, till my mother told her. When they had their parties, they would bring a pound of anything. And I think, didn't Daddy bring a pound of bubble gum? He brought a pound of bubble gum to the party.
He brought some more stuff too, but he brought a pound of bubble gum. He was a fun person.
Yeah.
And I've heard Mama tell that many times.
Yeah.
And it was just these parties. And some of you people that are our age, y'all will probably remember your parents talking about this. Whatever was brought is kind of like potluck, except it was a pounding. Whatever was brought is what they had for the party.
Yeah, that was what they did. They brought a pound.
And kids would come, young people would come. That back then they liked to get together like kids do today.
Of course.
They
To talk.
yes, right, have a good time.
time.
I'm sure they probably maybe had a radio. I don't know. Mama didn't dance. Daddy sure liked to dance, but I can't see my mama dancing because she was straight and narrow. But they probably did anyway. And is there anything else we want to tell about this?
No,
Let's
I
see.
think
She said at a later date, a bunch of the young folks took walks up and down the road. And Daddy owned a car. He always had a car. And he would run, and that he would go up and down the road while they were walking. And it was, I guess it was
just
kind of like a
just
young
like
guy.
kids flirting with each other or
Wanted
something.
to kind of get the girls' attention and everything. So, is there anything you want to add to this, Mary?
No, they when they got married, he bought a trailer? Didn't he buy a trailer? Paul Lee gave him her dad gave him a cow, wasn't it?
I think so.
He gave him a cow when they first got married, and Daddy bought one of them streamline.
It was kind of like an Airstream.
Yeah, he bought one of those for them. That's what they lived in when they first got
And
married.
to show you how independent my daddy was, always, and I mean every one of us kids are just
we
like
kind
that.
of took after
If we
that.
get
him.
something, we want to earn it.
That's
we don't
right. We don't want a handout.
We don't want handouts. But when they got married, I don't know if they had showers back then or not, but he had that trailer set up, a little travel trailer. He had it completely
Yeah, he
furnished
stocked.
to set up house.
Yeah.
He didn't want nobody giving him nothing. He just, I remember Mama saying every time she'd go to malls, she'd load her down with eggs and something, and they would just kill Daddy because he just didn't think he's supposed to be taking anything. My brothers, Charles and Edward,
they do not want nobody giving them. Now they will give you. They will give you.
Yes.
They'll give you anything you need, anything you want.
Givers, I think I've said this a lot of times. We are givers. We were taught to give. Our mother and daddy both were givers. And it is so much harder for a giver to receive something. The Bible said it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. we like to be on the giving end.
Right.
It's very tough, and I think sometimes we get in situations where we have to be on the other end, so we know it keeps you humble when you receive something. He was a very independent man, and so was Mama.
Yes,
so was
yes.
Mama.
Well, that's when they got married. We're going to end our story of Mama on that where they got married, and then tomorrow we will pick up on after she got married and go into having children, and we're just going to do this kind of in stages because we're going to be filming 3 days a week now. For talk about Mother and Daddy, but we're going to make it as brief as possible, and then we'll do a cooking show afterwards. So
Right.
I guess we're going to end this little video, and then at 11 o'clock we'll come back and start our little cooking video.
And so for everyone that thinks that you've missed a live, there will be one live a week, and the others we're taping.
We just tape, yeah.
And they will be posted. So the first one, like we're doing now, and the cooking show will be live, and then for Wednesday and Thursday, we'll post those so you can hear more about our Mom and Daddy. Thank you again. We're going to
Thank
get the
you.
names, and we will have the drawing and let y'all know who won.
I guess it'll be. Are we going to do it on our cooking one this morning, or are we going to do it tomorrow? Have the drawing.
Let's do it today.
Okay. All right. We'll do a drawing today. We'll
Thank
show you on our
again.
cooking show.
We hope that if you can, you'll join us back at 11. Thank you,
All right.
guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.